34, 35. Hi, I'm John Cena, and I know how to count. In fact, knowing how to count could change your life on Super Bowl Sunday.
There's no doubt that so many people are watching the game, but more people are probably watching Super Bowl for the commercials. However, we might be disappointed as several of the biggest brands are skipping out on the big game because of things like COVID and social political unrest and record unemployment. So what can audience expect to see on February 7th? Joining us this morning from St. Louis is marketing strategist Tim Burt. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Dina and Debo.
How are you?
Tim, listen to those dulcet tones, that voice. You have how many years in radio?
25 years in radio, more than 30,000 commercials around the world.
Oh, stunning.
So you know what's up when it comes to ads and commercials, for sure.
A little bit.
So what can we expect this time around then? I know it's changed a ton.
Everything's changed this year, from the look of the game to the way the game's going to be presented. And the ads, you know, we really think of Super Bowl commercials kind of as a snapshot of where we are as a society and a country. You're going to see some pandemic stuff. You know, the unemployment rate, as you mentioned, Debo. You're going to see ads for like Indeed.com telling people, look, there are jobs available, apply, and, you know, upload your resume. And also they're looking for employers to say, hey, we're hiring. So it's going to be, we're going to see some humor, but we're going to see I think a few ads with a more serious tone this year.
And for some of those, you said something like Indeed, are they still paying that big price tag to be on there? Yeah. Last year it was $5.6 million for 30 seconds on average. This year is $5.5 million. But you look, you're getting, even last year, which was one of the lowest rated Super Bowls in modern times, you still had 100 million people watching. Wow.
So, yeah.
You talk about 100 million people. That's a pretty wide net. So you're going to hit a lot of people, but you want to hit the right people.
Not only that, I'm going to argue it's going to be more of an active audience as opposed to passive, because people aren't just yucking it up with their friends and having 15 people in the living room. It's just them by themselves with one. It's going to be a lot quieter. They're going to pay attention to those ads a lot more.
Yeah, you're probably right. There's going to be a lot more social activity, especially, well, you know, Twitter and, you know, Facebook and things like that. So, yeah, it's going to be different on practically every level this year.
All right, let's take us through a few of these ads that we've got that we're going to see this year.
Jason Alexander, what's he doing?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Jason Alexander's the first one up. Let's see some.
Jason Alexander, Tide. I think this is going to do, there's two categories. You got humor and you got sales. I focus on the sales. The Tide, Jason Alexander, yeah, it's funny. Does it make people want to buy Tide?
Maybe. You're laughing. How's about this one? We love this couple, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis. What are they up to with Shaggy?
The Cheetos, yeah. You know, Cheetos and Doritos are in a really odd category because they really have no competition. So they can afford to be goofy and funny and stupid and whatever. So, you know, if the goal is to get people to say Cheetos, Doritos, fine.
And you're craving snacks.
It is enjoyable, though. We saw it at the start of this segment, the John Cena Mountain Dew commercial. How have the production of these commercials and these ads been a little bit different, including that one?
Yeah, that one was, you know, socially distanced and all this. The producer wasn't even on the set. And, you know, so it's no different than really making a movie. It's just, you know, everybody was kind of distanced. I don't know that that's going to be a big thing going forward. People still going to want to get on set. But I'm glad you brought that spot up, because that, to me, is going to be a huge winner, because you could win $1 million by counting the number of bottles in the commercial. And that forces you to watch it over and over and over again. And at some point, that target audience is going to go, wow, I bet this actually tastes pretty good. So I might want to go buy a bottle.
So you think that one's going to win out of all of them?
If you talk about sales, I think that one's going to do extremely well. Plus, you add in the Twitter component. Yeah, that's a recipe for success in my book.
Now, I hear you have a all-time favorite Super Bowl commercial. Which would it be? There's so many to choose from over the years, right?
Absolutely. It's the one that started this whole thing. This is the reason why we're talking this morning. Apple's 1984 commercial.
Oh, wow.
If you've never seen it, it's 37 years old, and we still talk about it to this day. This commercial broke the mold. Directed by Ridley Scott, Steve Jobs pushed it. This commercial almost didn't make it to air. So when you talk about Steve Jobs changing the world in two ways, he did it with the Apple products. Wow. But he also did it with Super Bowl commercials, because he begged and he basically imposed his will and said, we're going to air this. And it's a good thing he did, because we still talk about it to this day.
It became this, you know, mini feature film. In a sense.
It really did. And the crazy thing about that commercial, they never showed the product.
Oh, wow. It was just enough curiosity piqued in the production of it.
This was a teaser of teasers. It's just brilliant.
And Tim, I'm going to put you on the spot real quick here. Sorry. Do you know how much that ad cost them?
That ad, I think, was around 100,000, 150, 200, somewhere around there. In today's dollars, I don't know what that would equate to, but it was still expensive. I mean, you had a massive set, and it still pays off to this day.
Wow.
Tim, we're very proud. You know, us being from Toronto, Canada here, we're very excited about The Weeknd performing the halftime show. Are you a fan of The Weeknd?
I've heard a few of The Weeknd songs. They're not bad, not really my thing, but you know, I get, you know, when you have Pepsi sponsoring the halftime show, that's a completely different audience. So it, you know, every year it gets younger and younger and younger, and but it's still a huge event. You know, normally they would say, in past years they'd say, oh, 3 days later, well, where I'm going to go on tour. They use this as the launching platform for the tour. Probably not so much this year. It's going to be.
Well,
I would say
he actually announced that he had a tour already planned. So he announced that he's pushed that now and all whole brand new dates for 2022. He did that yesterday with that announcement, and he put out a kind of greatest hits, a highlights album today as well. So I know what you're saying, though. It's usually the next day. You're right,
Tim. We've got to go. Who's going to take it? Chiefs or Buccaneers?
Oh.
Bucks.
Okay, put the Bucks on Bucks. Could you do us a favor with your gorgeous voice and say Foodie Fridays up next on BT?
Coming up next on DT, Foodie Friday.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.